So we've arrived at Greenways Landing, just between Swan Reach and Nildottie in the Riverland here in South Australia. Again, we can see the shacks, we can see the river. Let's go have a look at the campsites. Greenways Landing is approximately 2 hours from LA CBD and approximately 164 kilometers, just near the town of Nildottie. If you want supplies, you can get supplies at the general store at Nildottie, or head down to Swan Reach or any other local towns that are around there. So the drive into Greenways Landing is dirt road, and be warned, it can be quite steep as you're getting down. So in wet weather, this might be a challenge. Just while we're driving, take note of the clouds. How majestic do they look? And welcome to Greenways Landing Reserve. I must say the river looks amazing. There's a boat ramp which you can launch off. First impressions, this place is certainly a lovely spot. Take note, this side of the reserve you can't camp, unfortunately. So let's go check out the campsites. Now in Greenways, it's split over two sections. This is the first half, and certainly the sites you can clearly see are defined, but you can kind of camp wherever you want. Generally here, the sections are all quite flat. And like I said, we've done our very best to point out where we believe are sites just by the fire pits. Actually, it's quite funny. I thought this was it until we found section 2. So it does open up to be quite big. And we'll show you that as we go along. That's section 1 done. Now let's go check out section 2. So while we're making our way there, you'll notice there is a toilet block, which was quite surprising, and also rubbish. Now the toilet itself is very clean. It's got all the facilities you need. There's a running water tap in there as well. Now bear in mind, on both sides, the toilet is far away, so you're better off bringing your own toilet. Otherwise you're going to be walking quite a bit. Now let's talk about these shacks. I'm not sure if all of them are for rent, but some of them are. Certainly the one that we met, the lovely gents from D Squad. And don't worry guys, we've got the footage of you guys at the end of this episode. So thanks very much for making us feel very welcomed and having a good chat. Now, if I haven't mentioned this before, this campsite is free. So you can set up anywhere and stay as long as you like. Also, if you're wondering why it's called Greenways Landing, it's because there's a landing strip here. Now, we didn't see any planes landing, and I'm not even sure if it's used that regularly, but it is a landing strip. Just make note that even though you can pick up wood from the ground, there wasn't a lot of wood around. And even when we went to Nildottie and asked if we could buy some wood, you had to try and find a local that was selling wood. So make sure you stock up on wood if you're planning to have a fire. So if you hadn't already guessed it, we're now in section 2. Now there's sites all along here, along this strip, and they're all along the river, flat and actually quite nice. Not a lot of grass, as you can see, mainly dirt, but reasonable space, certainly very comfortable. Now you can feel a little bit exposed with the open space behind you. So, if you're setting up, you really want to face towards the river, obviously, and maybe set up your tents backing behind you so you don't feel as open and exposed. As you see, the sites that we have marked out actually have a fire pit and access to the river. And as I pointed out earlier, this is quite a long strip, so trying to get to that toilet is going to be a bit of a hike. Now this next site is a little bit interesting. It's probably a lot more private than the others because of the bushes behind you, but it has a stovey pole right in the middle. Now, I did say there was 2 sections here, but I'm going to create another section because this is probably more recommended for forward drive. So once you get to the end of the strip and you want to go through here, I thoroughly recommend you take a forward drive. As we make our way to this forward drive section of Greenways, the sites here are a little less exposed, so you feel a little bit more involved in the surroundings. But probably, as you can tell, they're not as frequently used as the others. So if you didn't believe me about forward drive only, if you managed to make it to this point, well done. But from here on in, have a look at the track. As I mentioned before, these sites aren't as frequently used as the others. And I know what you're all thinking. When is this gonna end? It just keeps going. Right, obviously two choices. On the right side, easy trek. On the left side, splash time. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. If you want a bit of a challenge, take the left track. And here's what I mean, splash time. Alright, let's go finish off and check out the remaining sites. And that's it, we made it to the end. And look at that lovely spot right there. Now where's that toilet again? How far away is it? Now have a look from the bird's eye view. Isn't it just wonderfully big and amazing? And there you have it, Greenways Landing. Lots of spots along the river. Come check them out. We'll catch you on the next one. But remember, camp by me and you'll be a happy camper. It's called Camp by Me, all one word.
Can we get all the boys for a group photo?
Yeah.
Right, 1 second, we'll get all the boys.
Is that a pretty big channel?
Can we get it? Oh yeah, get into your soccer pose.
Whatever it is.
Big squad. Oh, hang on. What is it? D squad. D squad.
Hang on, hang on.